Hey, just up late, random thoughts, things from today. Just um, Sometimes you go through some stuff, you need some encouragement, and what you have is just not enough. What you have on the inside, the word that you have stored up, the positive vibes, the good thoughts, the things that you set aside for yourself when you're feeling low are just not enough. And you need to draw from another well, draw from um, another spring. Hey, um, I have been in a process lately, and sometimes that thing gets a little hard. It gets a little heavy. Um, it gets a little discouraging. Sometimes you get weary. You get weary in well doing when you're pouring out, when you're giving, when you're serving others, and you're pouring from an empty place, not necessarily empty, but when you're running low, when you're on fumes, or even when you're pouring from a broken vessel. Because when you're broken, you can't hold as much as if you were whole. Um, so, people may be pouring in, God may be pouring in, but when you're broken, what's being poured in is leaking out through the cracks. So you don't have as much to pour out. Um, and that's the place that I found myself in recently. I knew that I was broken. God slapped me down real good and told me that I was, and has been helping me get to a place of wholeness and healing. But at the same time, still requires me to pour out. Still requires me to minister, to give, to serve, to lay before His throne on the behalf of others, to stand in the gap, to speak words of encouragement, to share the word of God. And even at my job, um, I work in human services, and it's all about service, all about pouring into others, giving back to others, building people up. So sometimes when I come home from work, I just want to go to sleep. I just want to be real still and real quiet because I'm done. Just empty, drained, at my people limit for the day, and I'm done. So it's been super crazy at work for the past couple of weeks. Had some really tough cases. Couple of cases where the kids got removed, where families were split up, and it's especially hard right here around the holidays and at Christmas time to see kids have to be removed from their families and to not be able to stay in the home and do the work that we hope to do with the families to help them be in a better place, to minister to them, to build them up, to help get them healthy. So it's kind of twofold. But today I woke up and I was in a place where I was just like, I was in my feelings. My spirits were low. Um, it's the holidays. This is my first Christmas away from all my family. So I'm here in Florida pretty much by myself. I got a couple of friends here. My mom is flying in, but it's not like it's completely different. It's warm. It's hot. Um, I never had a hot Christmas before. It's 80s and 70s, and I could throw on some shorts and flip flops for Christmas. So that's a change. But just being away from all of my family around this time, especially missing my dad. This is my second Christmas without him, and it's still hard. It's not gotten easier just yet, but making it. My brother's making it. Um, it is what it is. We carry on, but those two things, and then I really haven't been in the Christmas spirit. Just I don't know. I guess it's a combination of things, but those two things, and then just trying to figure out and balance personal stuff in this journey that God has me on right now. Still working on this book for the singles ministry, and um, I'm formatting a book for my uncle that is also a ministry book. So and still trying to write and blog and release and do Saturday scopes and all that stuff, and just be obedient to the Lord. Sometimes you get tired. You just get wore out, and you try to encourage yourself and call up that word that's in your spirit and draw from that wellspring, and it's still just not enough. Not enough. So this morning I was kind of low. I called my aunt. Hey, Cena. I was talking to her, and she was offering me some words of encouragement, and the typical, just wait on God, and He's gonna do it, and He'll remember His promises, and all those things. Still wasn't enough. Just wasn't pulling me out of the pit that I was in. So I went to church, and praise and worship started, and there were 3 ladies on the row in front of me. And I always sit in the front. Got to be close to the fire. I always sit in the front in class, in church, wherever I can learn and get something. I'm sitting in the front, so I can be alert and see what's going on, pay attention. But there were 3 ladies on the row in front of me, and when I first got there, I really didn't even feel like praising nothing. I was just kind of bleh. I was meh. And praise and worship started, and these ladies just had so much energy and enthusiasm and excitement, just to be there and be praising God and be in His presence, and it really pulled me out of the funk that I was in. There, I had to borrow some of their praise for a minute until I could shake myself and get my praise back. I was like, okay. And I just stood there for a minute and watched them praise God, and it was awesome. It re-energized me. It was like, okay, you got a little juice now. You can move a little bit now. But those 3 ladies pulled me out of my funk, and the thing I appreciate the most about God is He won't let you stay in the pit. On top of praise and worship, like after that, I was done. Like the song that the praise team was singing was Stronger by Israel, and just that part where it was like stronger, stronger, I'm getting stronger, and then he's like greater, greater, my God is greater. It was just like, it became almost like a war cry for me. I was done. By the time that song was over, I was in the floor, between the seats, on my face, done. Just done. Out. I danced, shouted, laid out in the presence of God, tears, just done. And then God was speaking during my worship time and said what I needed to hear. And then when I pulled myself up off the floor, when God let me get up off the floor, rather, the pastor started a new series called Unwrapping Jesus, and today he talked about the God who keeps His promises. And that was the very same thing my aunt was talking to me about before I left for church. So it was like, okay, God pulled me up a little further out of the pit. I was like, okay, I'm getting there. All right, I'm still in the pit, but I ain't as deep down as I was. So He pulled me up a little further with the word, and then after the word, it was so amazing. We had one of those after parties and went right back into worship. So I was out again, laid out in the floor on my face, just communing with God and working some things out. And then I left church, and I felt a lot better. I felt a lot of the heaviness just lift off of me, but I was still just kind of in a funk. And some of that is just, missing my dad, missing my family, just being in the midst of transition and whatever. But it was still that sense of, okay, God, I know there's more to you than this. I know there's more for me than this. I know that this is not the abundant life that you had planned for me. This can't be it. I know this ain't what it looks like, but this is where I am. And sometimes you ask yourself those questions like, is this even what I'm supposed to be doing? God, is this what you want me to do right now? Like, what am I doing? Is this right? Am I doing it the way you want me to? Like, you have all these questions in your head and everything's just kind of swirling all at once. Stuff don't make sense. And then God is speaking one thing and the word says another thing, and they don't seem to be lining up at the moment. So you're like, okay, what am I supposed to do with this? So then I come home. Well, actually, I didn't even make it home. I got a call for work and had to go out to another county to serve a family. Got out there. It was a single mom that has 6 kids who's homeless. So in the midst of being in my funk and God trying to pull me out of it, and I couldn't encourage myself enough to get out, he sent me out on a work call to go serve somebody else. So I get out to Flagler County and meet with the CPI, the mom, the kids, and the lady is telling me her story, and like she breaks down crying and just telling me like about how she ended up in the situation she was in, and how her mom used to help her with the kids and used to help her with all kinds of stuff, but had a stroke and wasn't able to help her anymore. Then she fell on hard times and just wasn't able to take care of her kids. And just in that moment, I couldn't help but be grateful, even though I was in a funk and having a pity party or whatever you want to call it. Like, I couldn't complain. I was like, this lady is here at Christmas time with her 6 kids, sleeping in the car, wherever they can sleep, don't have much of anything, and she's still fighting, still pressing. What right do I have to be down in the dumps about anything right now? None whatsoever. And so I was there with them for probably about 3 hours. Got them put up in a hotel for a couple of days until we can try to get them some more permanent housing, and talked with her and the kids, and she shared some more things with me, and just had an opportunity to talk with her, and just I don't know, to see her be in the place she's in and still not be down and discouraged, and trying to do whatever she can to make sure that her family stays together, to make sure that she can provide the best that she can for her kids. And even having DCF involved, I think her case has been open for like 60 days already, and they've been trying to get her into a homeless shelter so we can fast track her housing. But even looking at her situation, she has a mom, she has family, but is still homeless, still sleeping in the car with her kids or wherever they can sleep. I don't have a right to complain. I don't have anything to be down about. I have a roof over my head. I have great family, and I know if that were my lot, that I would have somewhere to go. So I was just like, God, I appreciate that you won't leave me where I am, that you'll use even the smallest thing, even work on a Sunday after I'm supposed to be off, to pull me out of the pit, to pull me out of my feelings and out of emotion and out of frustration and despair and whatever else I was feeling at the moment. So then I came home. When I finally got home, I laid down for a minute. I got up and made dinner. My friend came in. We talked for a minute, and I was working on a blog. And he was looking over my shoulder and was like, "What are you doing? What are you writing? What are you working on?" So I'm blogging. He's like, "You just wrote all that from your head?" Yeah. Been working on it for 3 days. Maybe 4 now, I don't know. But I've been working on it. And it's been a really hard piece for me to write. It's about abandoning the person you assumed you were. And that's where I've really been at in 2016. Like, big time. Big time. Being here, walking away from home, leaving my family, friends, everything. I didn't know that I was leaving me too. Not that I'm lost, but the me that came to be rather than the me that God had called me to be. Just living for other people's expectations, living out other people's hopes, dreams, and aspirations for you, and not really living out your own and the things that God has declared over you and for you and spoken about your life. Like this season, I'm here by myself, and it's really been a time of coming into my own, as a woman, as a minister, as a social worker, just really kind of figuring things out and letting God do it. Just having a trust for each and every step and every instruction along the way. Like, it's like walking, when you were little and you go across a creek or a pond or something, and you have to find rocks and places to step on before you can take the next step. You have to map that thing out. And that's how it's been with me this year. God has really just had to map out every step, every instruction. I take a step, stand still for a while. Take another step, maybe 2, stand still for a while. Take a step, stand still. Take another step, stand still. Back up a couple of steps. Go back across a different way. So it's been quite a journey. And sometimes it's a little scary. Abandoning that person that you assumed you were, that you thought you were, that person that's comfortable, that that's the familiar you, but you abandon that person for the person that God has called and created you to be fully, with no fear, no hesitation, just diving in head first, nothing keeping you, holding you back from being that person. You just got space and opportunity, and he's saying go. So that's kind of where I am. Just a whole bunch of random stuff tonight. How y'all doing? Y'all mighty quiet, but yep, here we are. Random thoughts. Did y'all go to sleep on me? I don't know. Oh, yep, but then, yeah, I've been writing notes and prayers for my friend every day, leaving them. And, sometimes you don't know if they read them or not, if it's sinking in or not. But, evidently they are. So, amen. Praise the Lord. I'll keep writing. But anywho, I guess I'm going to go write some notes, get myself together for work tomorrow. I pray y'all have a blessed week. And that if I don't see y'all or talk to y'all before Christmas, you have a wonderful Christmas. Happy New Year. And that, you enjoy your families and friends and eat some good food for me. I'm cooking something. I don't know what. We might have some shrimp or fish or something, some seafood, since it's gonna be hot. Grill on the beach. So if it's cold where you at, come hang out with me. It's warm, sunny here. But bundle up, stay warm, and I will see y'all later. Good night.